let's sort of reflect on what it is we're doing in our own practice or as we're helping others, and which is very relevant, of course, as you're in a training here. We're being trained, as it were, to help other people. So, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to do? And from my viewpoint, there's a traditional metaphor about practice that I come back to again and again, which describes it as like a wagon or a cart with two wheels following two tracks. And one track is the track of original nature, true nature, underlying ground, natural goodness. One can relate to this in an entirely secular kind of way. One can also relate to it in a way that's more transcendentally grounded. Either way, there's underlying goodness and wakefulness and lovingness and wisdom deep down inside us all. It may be covered over, but deep down inside, we can sense it in ourselves, we can see it in other people. So this aspect of practice is about staying in contact or coming home. Remembrance, again and again and again. There's a saying that the most important thing is to remember the most important thing. Remembrance. Practices of remembrance that are embodied. They're very heartfelt. There might be a conceptual aspect to this, especially in the beginning, but the real homecoming is very somatic. It's very felt in the living body. Okay. The other track is the track of gradual developmental change for the better that involves healing, trauma, afflictions, the wounds of childhood, relaxing ways of being and defenses. I'm a psychologist, so I'll use that kind of language sometimes. Ways of being or defenses that were useful then, but today are like walking around in a suit of armor that's 3 sizes too small. And the cultivation of, I'll call them broadly, inner strengths, such as mindfulness. The cultivation of traits of mindfulness, compassion, grit, gratitude, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, secure attachment, interpersonal skills, know-how of various kinds. A developmental change. Both tracks. Both are really, really important. People can sort of tilt from one to the other. For a long time, I was really gung-ho on the second of these. Developmental change, clearing out the crud in the basement of the mind and remodeling the furniture and installing some new cookware. I don't know. Occasionally building a new window to let things out of the mind. And it's been recently for me, really, I always had an intuition of true nature, but to really come back to that as a touchstone of practice, as a foundation of practice, that's been my kind of rebalancing. Other people can sometimes just get really caught up in a non-dual true nature bandwagon that pushes away and somehow even argues against the necessity of ongoing developmental change for the better. So we need really both. We need both of these. It's a wagon with two wheels. Okay, it's not a unicycle.